Hello and welcome back. We've covered virtual FS testing and the Lustre driver, and we have plenty of topics to cover still on the mid-cycle. Let's switch topics. For the NetApp folks, I see that next thing would be the share replication work, share server replication work. I'm not sure if you would like Girish to be in there. Kiran to be in the room as well. If you'd like, maybe we can switch topics, do something else first, and then we can get back to share replication, or we can do share server replication now. And what's your preference?
I think let's do the share server replication, Carlos.
Yep.
Because this is a big topic to cover, and maybe we can, if required, we can have another session if we are not able to cover the whole thing. But I think let's try to cover it today.
Yeah, sounds
Kumar,
good.
Girish, you guys are okay with that?
Yeah. So we can start with say server application.
Yeah.
So
Would you like to do the screen share?
yeah, let me try. Share the screen. Share entire screen. Just give me a minute.
Yep.
Okay, I think able to see my screen. Okay, I think a lot of
Yes.
Yeah. Hello everyone. This is Girish from NetApp Manila team. So I'm going through the share application work done by us. Yeah, just give me a minute. So we have this much of patches raised for the share replication. So we have already this specs written for the share replication. So this is the specs which is approved by Gautam, Carlos, and Anup, everyone. So this is the command line where you can provide the share ID, and you can give the availability zone. Even we have added the networking, and then you can go and create the replication. And we have the other command for deleting and listing the replication. So I will quickly go through the core work done by the share replication. I will not go in the each line of the code, but I will give the high level overview of whatever the code we have written. This is kind of API documentation. Okay, I will start from here. So this is kind of version we have given. So this is 2.98. It might change based on that who is checking first. So might be I will change it based on the means who made the checking first. Okay, and this is also similarly for the version check also. Okay, then we have this metadata file where we have the mapping of the database function for the metadata related. This is the one comment given by the I think Kiran. So for metadata, we have introduced the new table. It's called the say server metadata. So I have written the new function for those one, and for that I have this mapping for say server replica to the say server replica metadata. And internally it is invoking it is fetching the data from the say server metadata table. Okay, here we have already existing method, so I am not using that here like replica get data. So instead of creating the new method, I'm reusing the existing one. So this is kind of a mapper for my DB mapping for metadata related. And that other is kind of this router means it just creating the controller. So even you can see the existing code also for other object Manila object. It's kind of similar actually, where we have creating the controller and passing the request to the controller. So I'm creating the CSR replica controller, and for metadata also I'm creating the different controller. So this is kind of straightforward. You can look on the existing code and you can just use that the same. And this is the quota related things where I'm just adding the quota related things for the sales server replica. And So this is the API call when you have means you are getting those API and then making the call to the share API. Okay, so I will just go through the create first. Okay, so create means it's kind of I'm just getting the say server ID. Okay, and say server ID, I'm just checking that it's valid. So I think this is the comment given by the Kumar Kiran. So I think I have incorporated that comment. I'm just directly getting now a replication from this one instead of converting that to a replication ID. Okay, and then I'm just checking that availability zone, and that should be passed as a string, and I'm just getting the availability zone ID to making sure that availability zone should be available on the OpenStack. I'm just doing the basic validation, whatever the parameter you're passing from the CS server replica aggregation. Then I'm just making the call for the share API. So from here, it just go to the share API. Okay. Similarly, I have this. This is the latest one, or this is not the latest one. I think yeah. I think that one I have removed. Okay. So that is not required. Then similarly, we have like for delete also, update also, we are just getting the parameter from that and just pass and making the call from the um, share API method, the similar method in the share API. So this is the normal method we have in the V2 API. After that, we have this is the share this one. So as part of share server show and detail, actually we are adding one more field that's called the share protected by share server replica. So we are not storing that in some DB. So dynamically we are calculating that, and we are adding that part of the OpenStack share server show command. So these are the changes for these uh, for showing the protected by share server in the for the share server. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry to interrupt. I think it makes sense to have that field. Have you considered implementing a property basically based on the database that already has that instead of needing to process it every time you do the request?
So initially means I put that into database, and I think in the specs also we got the comment that it's better to calculate that in the runtime or in dynamically. So we have added that in such a way actually.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gautam, your voice is distant.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
this better? Okay. So I'm wondering if you're asking if the code for this is a property in the model, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that was a suggestion on the spec as well. So in case that's the thing, that's correct.
Okay. I can proceed further, right? It's clear now, Carlos, right?
Yep. I can take a look at the code again as well, and yeah, I can drop a comment related to that if I still have questions.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Okay. And so this is kind of quota related things where we are just have some quota related things, is adding those things in for quota. Okay. And this is the DB API we have. So this is the new API we have written. So this is, you can see that in the base method of the metadata actually, where it's get called actually means. So here, if you see that this is the new things which we have implemented here, and internally it's calling that share server metadata, not the share server replica metadata, because we have the table name that share server metadata. So similarly for getting and updating, actually we have similarly it's invoke the corresponding database tables. to get those data. Yeah. And this is kind of a new table which we have added. So this is one extra column we have added in the share server, that's called the replica state. For that one we have added this file. And similarly we have added one more table called the share server metadata. So for that one it's kind of storing all the replication related metadata. So initially we thought of creating the share server a replica metadata, but Gautam suggested to keep this information as the share server metadata. So we are keeping the same here. We are storing all the property or metadata of replication inside this one. Even user is invoking that share server CLI for the share server replica, but internally it will going and storing this one. So that way we have written the function actually. So this is the API call. I think when first your Vue2 API, it will go to the share API, and then from the share API it make a lot of DB call here. Okay, so means so you can see that this is the DB call I have uh, for getting the metadata information, for listing those one, and for creating those one, everything we have. So this is go and get the data for the say server replica related and updating those on. These all information we have here. So mostly these are related to your metadata, because for updating the replication related information we are still using the CS server replica, and those one we have already available method in this class. So this is a model we have, as I have shown you in this that we have created, means we have added one extra column in share server, and that is called the replica state. So we have created the model for that. Similarly, we have created this share server metadata. So this is the model for that. This is kind of exception. Just want to add, means for replication related, we have added it here. And this is message field. We have added a few message things like if your async is failing kind of things, we are telling end user to just delete that and recreate the new replication, because it's not means user can't recover that actually even doing the resync and other operation. There is few comment already provided. I will have a look on those one. And this is the policy. So this is I have seen that other file also we are adding those one for backward compatibility. So I have added the same thing here. So Hibiscus here, if you have any comment you can add here if something is wrong here. Similar is giving the admin permission for the replication related. So I'm reusing the existing code and making the changes for the replica. You can see the same thing is for the other object also. So it's kind of straightforward actually. I mean, see, if you look on the code and other code, you can figure out actually the main part is which means to whom you want to give the permission for this. So it's all applicable for the admin. So based on that one, I have created this file policy. And this is the quota related things. We have added the quota code. So say server replica also we have added the quota, and these all changes for that. As of now, we are setting the quota, default quota for 10 for say server replica. And so yeah, so the remaining method, this is for from the scheduler point of view. So as part of share server replica, if you see that we are passing the availability zone. So based on the availability zone, actually means either we can go and get the means availability zone can have the multiple hosts, right? So here scheduler, we have written the code. So if user is passing the availability zone, it will go and pick up the suitable host for the shared replication. So it's based on the replication domain, or it's based on the networking also. So there is two and three factor is there based on that. And at the end, actually, once it will filter out, it has, I mean, scheduler had its own logic to checking the uh, uh, where means weight of which host is most suitable for that for the end user, and it will pick up that host for the replication, because host is required where you need to create the shared server. So this is the base class, means most of the logic is written in here actually. So it's kind of the thing, like if you have base class, okay, and that means it's kind of interface which you need to implement, and there is three scheduler driver, so you need to implement those ones. So it's kind of same thing I have put here, just putting here, but main logic is here in the filter. Okay, so filter, you can see that so we are getting this source. So first thing is it should not select the same source. So for the replication, means when it's creating the destination share server, it should pick up the different host, not the same host. So also I'm getting that availability zone ID. Okay, and this is the availability zone I'm getting from the specs. Okay, and then I'm getting that this all things actually I'm passing from the share API. So means in one availability zone there is a possibility that you have the multiple subnet. Okay, so this is also I'm passing, actually I'm calculating the share API and then I'm passing it here. Okay, so this is the information there. Then I'm getting the all host, okay, on this, and after that I'm just checking those all hosts based on that replication domain. First thing, it should not be the same as the source host, and after that I'm checking that it should have the same replication domain which source also have. This also I'm checking, and then means based on the service and availability, I'm getting that suitable host, and then these are the other logic actually around this I'm putting here. Yeah.
Yep, sorry to interrupt. I'm
Yeah.
curious about the scheduling, especially because like it's I think in the initial approach, and I see also in the APIs. I'm not sure if I missed some piece of the discussion there, but if you are targeting the share replica, for example, you're going for the share replica creation, and then you go and issue a command and you ask it to, I don't know, share replica create, and then you specify a host. Shouldn't we just skip the scheduler for this? Just because like you already know what the host is. Maybe we should keep checks for a couple of things for the host. Yes, and it supports share replicas, share server replicas and stuff like that. But I'm not sure if there is. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, or maybe I'm overlooking things. But if I understand correctly, yeah, if we are specifying the host, maybe
Mhm.
the operation is already targeted as at some place, and maybe we should avoid a lot of complexity while scheduling. Um, yep.
Right, right. So yeah, you're right, Carlos. So initial approach is passing the host actually when you're creating the say server replica. So, but I think Morris has given the comment, so their customer might not be knowing actually. So which means they don't have the information of the host. They just know about the availability zone. So based on that, actually, we decided, okay, we'll pass in the availability zone. And other thing is, in one availability zone, you can have the multiple host. So it's kind of good for the means instead of we are giving this option to end user to, okay, you go and choose the host. It's better to give this option to the scheduler, go and pick up the suitable host for me. So that we thought, okay, just have providing that availability zone, and then we have written this logic to find the most suitable host for the replication.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay.
So,
Mm.
one more
Mm.
thing, Girish, we don't check for, I mean, just having availability is good. We are
Mm-hmm.
also, if the backend is selected, but it is not peered on the storage, it may fail, right? That part we have, we are
Yeah,
ensuring somewhere.
yeah, that is a part of driver actually. Driver we are checking before even creating relationship. We should have that cluster pairing also.
No, no, but what I'm saying is that, when
Hmm.
we go and provision the, basically select a backend, right? At
Hmm.
that time, the scheduler may not know whether the peering is there and all the
No, no,
requisites
no,
are
no.
there.
That is driver related things that we will not. We can choose based on the configuration and whatever the scheduler have its inbuilt algorithm actually based on that. So we means we can filter based on okay, it should not be in the same host.
Agreed,
Other
agreed. So
filter we
what
can.
I'm saying is that in such cases, the protection will continue to fail, right? Because it will continue to choose the or select the same availability zone, or sorry, the same backend based on the availability zone logic.
Right, right. Means
Okay, I think
fi- fi-
Kiran
mhm.
has some points as well to add.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so my
Yeah, Kiran.
question was this,
Mhm.
is this availability zone, is it mandatory parameter or it's optional? If it's optional,
It
what if user doesn't provide the availability zone?
hmm. Yeah, so I will go through that code also. So if user is not providing any availability zone, it will take the default availability zone we have in the default mandel.com. You can give
But
the
if
comment on that if yeah,
but if the default availability zone is the same zone in which existing share server
it
is
will fail. It
present,
will fail. It will fail. It will fail. Then user has to take the action actually. Or we can
mm,
have so what is the logic we have when you're creating the share actually? So in if you are not giving any availability zone, but there we are selecting the share, right? Network. So based on network, I think it will pick up the availability zone. Or you want to have some different logic if somebody is not giving. As of now, I have put that as a default availability zone. Okay. So I think I can just.
if anyways we are not going to allow the same availability zone as that of existing share server, we simply raise the error instead of picking the default, right? I mean, if the
Yeah, that's
default
a
is the
that
same,
that check we have already. I think here I think
okay.
in this one. So two thing it will check. One is that this replication domain. Other thing it will check that it should not be the same. Means availability zone of the source should not be the same as the availability zone of the destination. It should pick up the different.
But if that check you can add in the API instead of scheduler
One second. No, no.
availability
I
zone
think
check.
that availability zone. I think that check I am not doing because one availability zone you can have the multiple hosts, right? So multiple host means suppose that in one availability zone you have different hosts, right? So even means my end goal is I need to get the this host. So if it is in the same availability zone, it's you can pick up the different host and you can create the replication relationship. So there should not be any issue with that.
Okay, so
So
we can
same
have the
availability
same
zone should not
AZ.
be the criteria.
Should not be the problem.
Should not be, but it should not pick up the same host. Means same host
Yeah,
means
that's fine.
same
But
backend.
okay,
Same backend.
So,
Hmm.
one question. So again, coming back to that question. So Kiran, do you think? I think the reason why we were going via the scheduling, right, was Carlos's comment where, we wanted to do the scheduling of the availability zone on secondary site, right? So that is a requirement, right, for this for the replication, because otherwise we can kind of ask for an availability zone from the destination as well.
Yeah, so initial propose, if you see that, I think initially we suggested that we can go with the, I think with the host, and then I think we got some comment actually, and based on that comment, we decided to okay, instead of availability zone, we'll go with the this one. Uh, you see that initially we have the host, we don't have any availability zone. I think then we got the comment from the Morris actually, customer will not have information on the host. They have the information on the availability zone. So we change
Yeah,
it.
yeah, that's fine. I mean, I my only concern is like if
Mhm.
availability zone is not provided, what is the stance you are taking? That was my question.
Yeah,
So
it's picking default
we
one. I
can.
can show you the code. Yeah.
So coming back to the question that I had asked Kiran, if the scheduler always picks an availability zone and backends where where the peering is not there, it will continue to fail on driver. So it is basically the deployers or the user's responsibility to have cluster peering done already, right? So that is fine, right? In the availability zones that are going to or being potential to be selected basically, or potential to be or backends which are potentially in the availability zones. That assumption is fine, right?
No, no, sorry. Can
So
you? I don't get
so
what is the
so
assumption here?
basically what I'm saying is that in case the replication or the scheduler continues to pick a availability zone and backend combination which doesn't have cluster peering, for instance, right? And it continues to kind of fail on the driver. So the idea is that there is no going away from that, right? So it will continue to fail there. And yeah, Kumar, you wanted to.
Yeah, the expectation is same even for the share replica, right? When you define the replication underscore domain property, right, in the Manila config, that is where the expectation is to have the two storage backends to be paid at the cluster level as a prerequisite.
Right,
Otherwise,
but
the
we are
driver
talking
will
about
throw
Yeah.
the
availability,
error.
right?
Yeah,
Availability zone can
Yeah.
have more than one backend is what I'm trying to say.
correct,
So
correct.
Yeah.
So,
Right. So I think the discussion with the Morris actually. So what means what is our expectation is, so based on that replication domain actually, so there should be already existing cluster pairing across the different backend. They
Hmm.
should have.
Right.
So based on
means,
that
means
actually.
if I have one on the one storage backend on availability zone A, which is on site A, and availability zone B has two clusters or two backends. In that case, I need to have a cluster peering from A to B and A to C, right? That is the expectation then, because from availability zone B, any of these two backends can be selected.
you are
Right.
right, Anand.
If yeah, they means
That
wherever
would
we
be
are
the
tagging
assumption,
that replication domain, same replication
right?
domain, so they should have the pairing actually.
Right. I'm
So
just
this
trying
is
to
this
put this
is
off so that it doesn't become a challenge later. So I'm just trying to make sure that everyone understands that there is, even though the scheduler selects the backend, there is still a configuration that is required as a prerequisite on the backend side on availability zone B when that gets picked up.
yeah. Yeah, so these all kind of
That
scheduling related. Yeah,
just wanted to make sure that we understood that Kiran, because Kiran, this is something that primarily Kiran and Maurice have to definitely review.
yeah, yeah. Any comment from Gautam and Carlos also? Yeah.
Hey, Girish, one question.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, when we go and try to create a share server replica for a
Mm-hmm.
particular share server,
Mm-hmm.
you will be considering the source share server replication domain, and based on that replication domain value, you will be looking for the other availability zone eligible things. You will be filtering over that,
Right.
right?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm filtering
that,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
then we're
correct.
good.
So it's kind of manager. Yeah.
No, no, sorry. Yeah, I was just going to say that I understand. Yeah, I've originally asked this question because I was a bit unsure, like if we should target it to a host, but if we have the availability zones, then I think it's consistent with what we have for share replicas. I think it's the right direction to take. But and yeah, I
Yeah.
understand. Like it's. I agree with you. The same even if it lands in the same availability zone, sometimes like there are more. There is more than one host. There's nothing preventing to have multiple hosts there. So we just need to ensure that we don't blend it in the same host, and I think you have been covering that. So I understand the approaches,
Right.
and yeah, was just being a bit curious.
Right. Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah. Thank you, Carlos. So yeah, this is kind of scheduling code. You can have a look actually. I will go to API code. So share API. This is kind of quota related things where we are making sure that if quota exceeded, throw the exception or warning. So this is I think this is for deleting share server. Actually, we are making sure that if there is a replication under for that share server, we should not delete that share server. Users first delete the replication, then delete the share server. So this is kind of helping function. I will just directly jump to the create. I will quickly finish this one. So this is the create share server replica. I'm just checking the policy here, getting the share server based on the share server ID we are passing. So replica means first time when you're creating, you pass the share server ID. Okay, I'm just checking that if means I'm getting the share server, otherwise it throw the exception. And then after that I'm checking it should be in active state. If it is not in active state, again I'm throwing the exception for that. And then I'm getting the source server ID, that is nothing but the share server ID. Okay, then I'm checking that if that server has already existing replica. So if it is a already existing replica, so we are throwing the exception here, because as of now we are not supporting fan out. So we have to make sure that one replica for one share server. And then we are getting the host for that replica. Yeah, yeah, Gautam.
Hey, so this comes from the spec, right? The limitation of not wanting more than one.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would just suggest adding a comment over there, because I'm not sure this is going to be obvious for somebody that is creating stuff. So either a comment or a well enough description that this is not currently supported would probably help.
Sure. I will. I think I have put this one. Fan out is not supporting. Only one destination replica is allowed for per set volume. Yeah. If you have any
Oh, I
comment,
see, I
you
see.
can add
Okay,
here.
okay.
So you can add here. I will incorporate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because the way we implemented this with replication,
Mm-hmm.
we kind of took a design of saying, okay, fanout is supported from the get-go, and then we will use replication quotas to limit
Mm-hmm.
that. So
Right.
there's must be a quota on replicas per share. That kind of limits that particular thing for you. So in case you want to think through something like that in the future, you would probably have server replicas per server, right? So if you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
replicate the server more than once, a coder should stop you rather than an existing code check like this
All right.
when you have all this. That's why I'm thinking that way.
Okay. So means I have a quota for per tenant actually how much share replication he can create. But you want to that even
No,
under
no.
that
I'm
if
not
you add
suggesting
some.
an
No,
improvement now. I'm
no.
just saying this is how it will
Yeah.
evolve.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the future development on this would be the fan out support. At that time, you'll have to see, what we can support from OnTap's or from the tap side. We will
Yeah.
try to come up with that quota per share server replication, or basically, how many fan outs you can create basically.
Per share, okay. Per share server,
Per
okay.
share
Yeah,
server.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
per share server replication.
How much? Okay, got it. As of now, it's kind of tenant. That means how many replication one tenant can do. Yeah, that is kind of future work. Yeah.
Still speaking of
So yeah. So
quotas,
but
sorry to interrupt.
yeah,
Yeah, still
yeah.
speaking of
Please go
quotas, I
ahead.
was looking at the number, like 20, 10 quotas. Easiest just because like we have the default like that for a couple of other things, or like it's just a number you thought through. Because I was looking at like the number, and especially if you have a share server that ends up having, I don't know, 50 shares, and then you allow 10 replicas of it, that means like 500 shares, and seems like a lot of storage consumption. So I'm not sure,
Hmm.
should this be the amount of like replicas is this acceptable, or should we I don't know. It's just me trying to think of out loud and about the number and thinking about the consequences that it might have, especially if we look at other quotas that we have for other things. So yeah, that was pretty much my thing. Is it okay? I'm not sure if Kiran also has an opinion on this, but yeah, that's pretty much where my mind went.
Yeah, Kumar.
Yeah, I think that quota is not per this thing. Its quota is for overall share server this thing limit, share server limit. So if you have a share
Yeah, I think
server,
Yeah.
if you have a share server, that will at most will have two replicas. One is itself, another is the site B. I mean the
Yeah.
DP site. And if you have 10 share servers in your project or this thing, so you will end up in having max 20. So like that, that
Yeah.
20 can become 50. Ideally, 25
Yeah.
SVMs, I mean share server can have the 50 share server replicas.
Yeah. I think Carlos' point is actually means if one replica means within one V server, share server, actually, if you have around 50 share kind of things, right? So if you're replicating those one actually, and similarly, if you have 10 means 500 share server they're replicating. So that is we are consuming a lot of storage, right? Even secondary side. So is 10 is a genuine number or a default number, or it should be something less, or anyway means end user can set that even 5 or something, but means anyone can suggest if we can reduce that to 5 or something else which we can give the restriction or.
the
Yeah,
opinions
yeah,
should come from SAP team on
Mm-hmm.
how that should work on their cloud.
Yeah, I'd expect
Because
to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because if I understand correctly, like there's this limit on 10 share server replicas. So I'm looking at the code right now, like quota.py. So there is a default of 10 share server replicas per each tenant, right? That is the
Mm-hmm.
default. That doesn't mean like
Right.
it's only two replicas. I'm not sure if there is a check in place for only like two replicas of a single share server, or if you can go ahead and like there's something that allows you to go and create 10 replicas of a single share server. That's pretty much my point there. Like it could keep increasing the amount, and yeah. But I think it's as I said, like it's more of an operational concern, and I would expect more operators feedback on this.
Well, at this
Yeah.
stage,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have much details about how much share servers it will be in terms of replica. And anyways, we are not going to have the support of fan out in this
Mm-hmm.
uh, initial release. So we are assuming at max one replica, like the share server and its replica. So for the time being, it should be okay. In
Okay.
case things change,
So this default number I think came into my mind. I think we have internal
no,
this
but that
quota.
default number is a config, right? One can change
Yeah, you
the
can set
quota.
like
Yeah, yeah,
other things you can set. Similarly, you can set.
yeah.
So how it came into my mind actually. So I think we have this quota for the share server. So share server, I think means somewhere I have seen the in the code. I think I am not able to point it right now, but I think the quota for share server also 10 for per tenant. I think. So it's not kind of it's coming from the API like we are setting because internally we are creating the share server, right? Based on the when we are creating the new share or based on the new network. So but internally somewhere it's set to the 10 actually default value.
I
So I
think you
thought
need
okay, let's make it
the quota for networks,
uh,
right? And
network.
yeah, and that is 10.
10. Okay.
And so I mean, it's okay to leave this at 10, but it probably depends on how you're counting your replicas. Are you counting the primary and the secondary as two replicas or just one?
One actually. I'm just creating actually. So that time I'm creating counting
At
at
that
one.
time, you're
So
counting one up. Okay,
one.
okay,
So
that's
deleting I'm
fine.
deleting down.
I guess I get Carlos's point that this should not be that prevalent. Think about how many times it's going to interact inside an actual environment. You have a limit on the number of networks per tenant. So you already cannot create as many share servers, but we can't limit the number of share servers from there, because that's something that the driver decides. The driver can decide to create any number of share servers based on how it wants to manage its capacity. So you don't want to limit the number of share servers itself. But when it comes to replication, you're again handing control back to the end user, or rather the administrator in your case by default. But the idea is that it is going to somehow track the number of share servers that are already there. And so you can't really have a very hard number. So let's say somebody has 30 share servers already out of the 10 networks that they can have in their tenant. So they will go and adjust that quota a little bit further, is what I'm thinking. So I don't think a default number is going to be that significant, because you already can't control the number of share servers that you get as a tenant. You only can control the number of share networks. So it's okay to start with 10, and probably it will get customized and expected to get customized in the per the use case. Does that make sense? Like we don't have a quota control on share servers today, so I don't think we can be precise about a quota control for replicas.
Yeah, makes sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, we can keep it, we can remove like,
No, I'm not saying drop it. Like I'm saying I'm just saying that the number to me does not alarm me, because
Yeah.
neither does
right,
it
the
say
number is
is it too
customizable.
exactly too little or something, because
Yeah,
I'm trying to say that I don't think I can make a better guess at this.
yeah, and I don't think anyone can, depending on how their cloud scales. So maybe this is something that is default that we take, and then we can keep configuring it based on how we to utilize the share server replica feature. Agree.
Agreed. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So here I'm just checking that your say server should have networking also. So that's just doing the validation for the both actually. So even for this one and availability zone also, as I think this is the one of the comment Gautam has provided, that availability zone, whatever you're creating, make sure that there is a subnet associated with that availability zone. So I'm just checking those all information is part of this code, along with if means user can pass also availability zone, even also because one availability zone there is a possibility that it has a multiple network, like a subnet. So so we are passing one more parameter like share network, and if I'm just based on this condition, right? If it has a shared network actually, then within that availability zone, right, it will get the subnet for that shared network and use that one for here. So these all things I'm doing here, and this is the chuck actually where availability zone also pass, and it will not able to get the subnet, because subnet also getting the subnet also I'm passing that availability zone. That means within that availability zone I'm getting the subnet, so it will fail here actually. And if user is passing only availability zone, actually it will get all the tenant network within that, and it will pick up the one of the network for the for the say server destination, means adding that onto say server destination. So these are logic I have written for the availability zone. Okay, these all things, and then I'm just this is quota related things. Okay, and then I'm so this is we need to uh, so what I'm doing here actually for make, so if you see that OpenStack say server replica list, actually it will have the two record, one for the active replica, other is for kind of replica. Non-active replica means real replica. So that non-active replica means active replica, how it listing actually it's based on that, because what is that this is replica state, so active. Okay, so I'm just putting this one. once again, server active. So okay, and this is a little confusing for me. So I'm updating this active replica. Means
Uh,
one of the record.
for source you are active, you will be always setting
Uh,
active. Yeah.
but actually, what I'm doing, I'm updating the state. Okay, this is the state only. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, replica
So
state.
there is one extra column we have added here. So once you updating that state, initially it's kind of null. Then only you are able to see that replica as part of OpenStack list command. So in case of the delete, what we are doing actually, we are means in this column actually for that shared server, we are just putting that one kind of null. Null means there is it's means it's normal share actually. It's not kind of active replica. So that way we have written the code actually. It's just showing that we have one entry in the database for replica. Means it is the row for the shared server, but it has making it as a active replica. We just updating one column for that shared server table to updating that state actually. So it will appear as a active replica, right? And then this is the field actually we are updating for replica. We are creating that. Okay. And then we are updating that db call and other metadata related things we are putting there. And these all the logic actually availability zone and those all things, and based on that when we are selecting the host, this is the all logic we have written for this means scheduler actually. Means it's passing that specs, and based on that one it will go and fetch the suitable host for this. And finally means I'm picking that host and updating that. And then we are just making, where is that this one call actually. So I'm making this call. This is the replica update time. I'm making this call actually to this one. This is RPC call. It will go finally to the share manager actually. Okay. Similarly, this is for delete. So delete also. What we are doing actually means this is the condition we are putting, that if it is in deleting state, so we will not invoking that delete call. Okay. And then if you are making sure that if it is a source shared replica, actually it's based on this one. So and if that source also has some replica, so we are not deleting those one, and that delete will happen only the force command. So if that replica means active replica does not have any any uh, uh, any non-active replica, so what we are doing, we are updating that state to the empty actually. So that means empty means in OpenStack share server replica list command, it will not list that replica. So based on this one, we are just displaying that means listing that in the Manila client uh, in CLI. So these all operation we are doing, then it's calling this one. Promote replica, I think Mandeep will go through this part. Okay, I will just state also what we are doing actually. We are checking the two things. It should not be in the creating state, it should not be in the deleting state. And sometime with host we are not able to select, right? So we are creating the entry in our means it's kind of empty entry in the host for our share replica. So in that case also we are not going and updating the replica state. Okay, you can check this code. If you think we need to make some changes, you can provide your comment here. And if it is in deleting and creating state, we are also not doing the update actually. It's kind of means updating the replica so that it will always in sync state. And this is the kind of share manager call from this one. Okay. Yeah. So these all things actually means there is kind of it's duplicate code. It's means if it is dictionary, then it's same thing. I think I will check that, test that, and if it is required to remove this, I will remove this. But this is kind of the code, same code we have here. Yeah. Yeah. So this is for the delete we have. Okay. And this is kind of getting the share server replica. It's based on means whole logic you can have kind of straightforward code. So mainly it's based on this source share server, right? For each share replica we have one entry that's called the source share server. Okay. So based on this actually we'll find out what are the replica we have, and then we'll list down all the replica for that piece and adding those on. This is updating that metadata for that replica and those all things. So you can just go through this code actually. and other we have kind of helping method here, like is a server replica member. It's kind of that in so migration also we are updating this say server replica id. So here it's checking it's really that replication related data, or it's due to some migration related. So these kind of setting the metadata for getting the metadata for replica and those all things, network information, those all kind of helping method here. Then I will go to the manager code. Sorry, share manager. Okay, so I will directly jump to the I think this is a few things we have written actually. So few places I think we need to pass the replication data for the share instances for delete related operation. So where we made the changes actually. So we are passing that inside of the share object means share object, and this is the periodic job for replica state. It's kind of updating the state, kind of sync call. So I will directly jump here. Create separate replica. Okay. So here means we are just getting the replica server here. Okay. So here I'm just getting the say server ID. If it is not, I'm again throwing the exception here. Okay. And then I'm getting the source say server. Okay, from this one ID, and I'm just checking that it should be in the active state. Same thing I'm checking here. Let me know. I'm also I think validating in the share API. If it is no need to validate again it here, you can provide your comment, but I'm doing the double validation. So even here also it should be in active state before means we will make the driver call. It should be in the active state. So for that one I'm just this is I'm just building the payload for the replication. So we are passing the few parameter into for the replication. Even we are in the replication data status and everything. Along with that one we are passing the say server detail as part of replication we are building. That is in the util.com. So it will call there and get that. Okay, and then say server replica list also I'm getting. So we have the same logic like we have in the share replica, where we are passing the means new replica detail with and along with that one we are passing all the replica list actually, and from this replica list we'll figure out which is the active replica in the driver. So we are passing almost all the information, and we are getting the subnet information from here. And from this subnet actually I need this share network detail, because one of our use case where we need to create the IP space and VLAN actually. So for that one we need that information for the destination side. So for that one we are getting this share network for that one, which I will going to pass in the here actually. So once I have all the detail, I have replica detail, and I have the replica list, and then shared information. I'm passing this on to driver. So so once I'll from the driver I'm getting this backend detail. If this is written by the backend, so we are updating the few information based on this backend driver, which we need further in case of the promote also. So these all information we have. I'm updating those one, means all the metadata what we have for that replica server. Okay. And if it is fail actually, so I'm putting this in error state, and this is also in out of syncs. Okay. So this one status, if you have any exception will come. Okay. Otherwise means if it is successful, it is inactive state. So inactive state in the sense we are updating that share server replica, means we are updating that share server table actually. So share server table we don't have anything available, so there we have the inactive. In this inactive actually, when you're running the OpenStack replica list command, so I'm internally converting this. If it is, it means if it is inactive, that means it's kind of available actually. So that way I'm showing that available in the OpenStack CLI command. So that internal conversion I'm doing somewhere here. Okay. And this is I'm putting out of sync actually, because initially it take little time to do that one, and I think driver might not sending that. If driver is sending the replica state something, actually I'm updating that here. So it's all logic we have actually put here. Similarly for delete logic, we have this delete. Okay, so delete also it's kind of same thing. Say server replica we are getting, and then id we are getting, then source server we are getting. So like in say, creating CS replica, here also we are passing all the data. We are passing that replica means say server replica and say server replica list actually. And then if it is exception, we just updating this error state, both status and state. We are pushing it error if there is exception. And if we are passing the force command actually, then it will go and delete the db entry, and we are reducing the this quota count for that. Promote says server replica. I think Mandi will go through this code. Similarly, updating the state of the sales server replica. So here also it's kind of the same thing. We are building, means we are getting that replica list and everything, and then we are making the driver call. Okay, and if there is some exception, again we are setting it error state. Okay, and then this is a message actually which we are pushing. Actually, if it is keep coming in the error state, user has to go and recreate the relationship. We can delete and recreate the relationship. And if it is means based on the whatever the means driver is sending back, we are setting those here. If it is out of sync, we are setting it out of sync, and those all detail we are updating this db related information. So that's it from my side. There is other method like utils. You can go through this kind of building the means it's kind of just it's share server replica is enable kind of things, where we are just checking that if you're passing that share server, we are just checking that its replication is enabled. Those on few places we need those on. So these all helping method it's written. You can just go through these method. So yeah, done from my side. I think Mandeep can go through the promote related code. Mandeep, hello. I think he's not available. I think yeah, I will ping him. So I think meanwhile we can start driver. Any question here?
Oh, good. Yep, no further questions yet.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Gautam, and everyone. Kiran. Yeah. I'm just how to stop. I'm just searching. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, let me share the screen.
Yeah. Thank you.
Please let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, can see your screen.
Good. Okay. I'll walk you through the some of the workflows, and after me, Sanket will walk you through the some of the other workflows that he had worked on. So, so for driver, we had raised two patches. First patch is going to be related to the workflows which are related to the share server replica from the driver side. So the share server create, replica delete, replica resync, and replica promote. And the other one is related to the enhancement of the existing workflows like create share and delete share and create share from snapshot. How it will be handled when the share server replica is being underlying share server is being replicated. So that is the other patch. So I'll quickly jump into the share server replica create implementation. So we support this feature only for the HSS true case, not for the false case. So for true case, we had implemented the library multi lib, multi SVM lib, and for false case, which is non DHSS, it will be not implemented as well. coming to the when driver will be called from the manager, it is going to be called to this particular let's say field, which is a create share server replica, and we'll be getting the policy name if it is being passed, and we'll be validating the some of the policy related details, whether the the self okay, so must be in the lib this. So we'll be verifying whatever the metadata that is being passed by the customer. If he is passing the metadata, we'll consider it and validate it. If it doesn't pass the metadata, then with the default values will be taken. So we expect the replication type is passed, it should be sync, and we don't support the async SVMDR. So we'll error it out. And if it is not sync or it is given as something else, some other spelling or some gibberish value, we'll error it out. And the policy also we support only the SMS policy in this release. So that is also being taken care. If the policy name is not valid or incorrect, we'll throw the error. And once that is being done, the next call will be to go and see the what is the active replica. We'll be getting the replica list. In that active replica will take, which is a site source, and then we'll make a call to the data motion PY, which is where the main core logic will be there. So here we'll be verifying some of the things like whether the version, the minimum required version, like 9.19.1 on tap is there, and peering is there, and mediator pre-check is being done. All the pre-checks will be validated, and once all those things are matching, I mean the allowed and is in line, then we are going to create a SVM relationship uh, by using the
So this underscore
so,
validate, this must be raising some exception, right? If the check
yeah,
fails.
yeah, that will be handled in the here itself. We'll be having the exception from here, so it will be raised to there. So it will the moment you throw the exception anywhere in of the steps, that will ended up in the error state of the shared server replica.
So I have one question which is not related to PR but related to setup. This mediator setup has to be done before any. Is this mediator needs to mention somewhere in manila.conf?
No need. You don't need to mention anything. It's like similar to what cluster pairing you do, right? You will do the mediator. You will add these two clusters to the mediator so that SMS, that's a prerequisite for SMS. And the existing on-tap APIs to get the mediator status is already available on the on-tap cluster. We don't need to call the mediator APIs as such.
Okay.
And we create the relationship, but we don't what is it? Initiate the relationship. And once we create the relationship, we will go and assign the aggregates to the destination. While we create the relationship, the DP destination SVM will be created. We use the create destination flag so that OnTab will itself will create the SVM on the destination cluster with the given policy, and we assign the aggregates as per the config that is being mentioned in the Manila config. And then once the aggregates are being assigned, then we will do the init so that the replication will start. The synchronization will start from site A to site B. All the volumes will be replicated. And as part of the once that is being done, we'll just make a simple call, one call to get what is the current state of SVM snap mirror relationship. If the snap error relationship is in sync state, then we will set the status as in sync. If the snap error relationship is in kind of let's say synchronizing state, because there will be many volumes and it will take to create the baseline image. So if it is that is the case, then we will set the status as out of sync. So in the next iteration of the update share server replica state, it will be updated. Once the synchronization is going to be moved to the in sync from the on tap, then it will be moved to in sync in OpenStack in the next step. And yeah, that's all. The baseline will happen and we'll return the relationship UUID and the status and the backend details, which is being created as part of the relationship. And I will go to the next. So for any questions in this particular topic, I will take it as no. Next is the update share server replica state, which is a resync command or a periodic resync that will happen. So in this, we are going to get the share server replica where the resync is being initiated on which replica, which is going to be a ideally an non-active replica. And we also will get the replica list so that we'll be able to find the source. And so here are the steps. First of all, we are going to verify whether the snap error relationship is there or not for the given path. If the snap error relationship is there, then we'll go to the next thing. If the snap error relationship itself is not found, let's say someone had gone and deleted the relationship outside of this, then we'll throw the error that if we cannot found the relationship. And if the relationship is in sync state or snap error state, so the code is being positioned in such a way that to minimize the changes that we have to do when we bring in the SVMDR. So we are checking both either this or that. Ideally, we will not get this in the sync state, sync snap error, but we just made it to be forward-looking code. And if there are any resync is happening already or some expanding or shrinking is happening on the SVM, then we will not make any resync, but just we will set the state as out of sync. And let's say if for some reason there is some unhealthy what is it state is being detected, then we are going to initiate a init state on the relationship. So in the next iteration, it will go to the insync. So that is what the resync code will do. And these are some of the methods, client methods that we kind of implemented to make some of the API calls on the on-tap at the SVM level relationship. And the UTs, I will not be covering the UTs. That is easy to go through. And I will go to the next one. So this completes the create share server replica and the resync of the share server replica. Now I will switch to the other PR, which is going to be covered for the share server create share. So, so you created a share server replica, and now you are going to be creating a share on the existing share server. So it has to be protected by default by ONTAP. We'll not be doing anything, but we will be doing some gatekeeping to make sure that the share is being created and it is being marked as protected. Then only we'll make sure that share is being declared as created successfully. Let's say for some reason, if the share is being created but it is not being protected, uh, then we will mark that share as error, so that user has to delete it and recreate it. This is the one of the reason why we had taken this approach is to that we are not having the toggle kind of ability. We made it simplified in our design discussions. in our spec. So so we have to keep that thing. So if you see here the code, so we are going to check whether it has any replicas. If it is having a replica, and we will not be supporting the CG. I mean, the OnTap doesn't support the CG for SMS NAS in this place. So if it is being creating as part of the share group, then we'll clearly say that we'll not be supporting it. And let's say if it is not the case, and the next one is we'll be verifying the share level creation if the underlying relationship is not healthy, not in sync. Let's say this is because OnTap rejects any geometric changes. I mean, the expanding or shrinking kind of things when it is initializing or out of sync. So we'll be doing the pre-validation before hitting the OnTap with multiple calls. And if it is in sync, then we'll be making a call to the our base method, which is a create share, which will not be having any changes ideally. Check once. Yeah, these are some other code, some other workflow related code. I'll just go and skip this. This will be covered by Sanket in the next workflows. So once that is being declared, created, uh, we are going to verify whether the SMS protection, SMS is the volume is protected with the SMS. So as part of that, yeah, as part of that, we'll make a call to the volume API and we'll get the SMS protection property. And if the SMS protection is unprotected or it's not being set also, then it is going to be marked as error that we are able to create it, but we cannot protect it. So the volume will be marked as not volume, I mean share will be marked as error. So user has to delete it and create it again. So that completes the create share changes. Any questions so far? Okay. So next one is the delete share. So as we are not, as I just mentioned, we are not supporting the toggle. So we have to handle the deletion of the share. So while deletion of the share, we have to implicitly unprotect it first. Then only you will be able to delete it. Once you delete, once you unprotect, the expectation is the cleanup also has to happen on the destination cluster where the replicated volume on the side B has to be deleted so that user doesn't need to manually go and delete. So this is in line with what the ask from customers like SAP. Uh, so we're going to, so we extended, we overloaded the function in multi-lead. So we are going to verify whether the share server has any replica. And if it is having a share server having a replica, then we are going to call an implicit unprotect share. First, we will be unprotecting the share. Then all we can delete it. So as part of the unprotect, so this being implemented as an idempotent workflow. So anywhere if you get an error, if you attempt it again, the workflow will resume from the next steps. So in the unprotect, first we are going to do the unprotect on the share. And if it's not being able to unprotect, then we'll throw the error saying that we will not be doing it. Sorry, if it is unprotected, then we'll go through the next steps. If it is not unprotected, then we'll say that we cannot. It's already unprotected, and we'll go to the next steps. uh, Sorry, I think I misread. First of all, we are going to verify the volume is being protected or not. If it is being protected, then fine. If it is not being protected, then we'll assume that the volume is already unprotected in the previous second. And the next step is we'll go and see the relationship status. If the relationship status at the SVM is not in sync, then we will say that we cannot delete this share, reattempt it again once it reaches the in sync, because OnTap doesn't allow us to do the any geometric changes when it is not in sync. And let's say if it is in sync, then we are going to do the unprotect on the site A share. Once that is being done, we'll verify that, and we'll go and go to the destination um, where the replicated volume is there. That volume has to be first, junction part has to be unset, and then it has to be deleted. So we will unset the junction part, and then we will attempt the delete of the volume. So for some reason, let's say the uh, share has been unprotected on the site A, but the cleanup has not happened for some reason. So we will be having just a destination volume call, just to see that in the next idempotent way of invocation, right? So we will just go and verify the destination is having a volume with the same thing. If the volume is there, then we will go and delete it. If the volume is not there, then we will return. So that is, yeah. I don't know who's raising the hand.
Oh yeah, it's me, Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos.
So if I understand this correctly, whenever you have the replication set up, like for example, you go and create a share, and then you want to delete it, the snap mirror and also like the relationship and the replication between the two share servers do not do the replication when you attempt to delete it, right? Because I don't know, from a replication standpoint, and if you think of something being replicated, you'd expect that if something goes missing in the source, it should go missing in the destination. But in this case, please correct me if I'm wrong. If we are deleting a share in the source, we need to go and delete it in the destination as well.
Yeah,
Is that
correct.
what's happening?
That's
Yeah.
correct. That's correct. Yeah. Because we need to reclaim the space from the secondary side, because we don't have any other workflow to do that unless we do go and delete the share server replica itself.
I'm not sure. Maybe other people would disagree, but I'm not seeing this as a Manila problem, honestly. Maybe this should be an on-tap problem,
Yes,
because
yes, this is
it's
not a
Yeah,
problem. Correct. Yeah, go
but
ahead,
then
Kiran.
by this way there will be inconsistency between site A and site B after a long time. Like there will be inconsistency between shares that are present at site A and then that are present at site B. Site B might have a lot of stale shares and eventually out of storage or something like this.
Yeah, if we don't delete it, that is correct.
yeah, and then there comes the problems. Like what if we can delete inside B or any other places that we have replicated this? It feels a bit like something ONTAP should be solving, not us.
Yeah, that is right. So we kind of so OnTap has taken the opinionated approach there, Carlos. If you see the even earlier this thing also, right? Share replica also, share level replica. They will not delete it unless you go and delete the replica, right?
Yeah.
So
So
mainly these are kind of a backups, right? So they will leave it as it is unless user goes and deletes it explicitly.
I
So,
see. Yeah.
so why we decided actually to delete even destination, because this is kind of DHS's true workflow. Means where means OpenStack administrator, he is going and creating all the object around the backend storage. So if he is performing the delete operation, we thought okay, because he's creating those one, so it's his responsibility only to delete those one. So as part of that duplication delete, actually we are going and deleting those resources from the destination site along with that. So that thought
In,
process we thought, yeah.
yeah, it aligns with the existing share replica, right? If you create a replica
No,
and you are
no,
deleting
but
a replica,
in case of share replica, share is the uh, lowest entity that you can control by the Manila.
Yeah.
Now here you are controlling the share server. You don't have idea of what is happening for the to the shares under the share server. So if you are managing at the share server level the replica, should be handled automatically, the deletion and etc.
You mean the on
Yeah,
tap has to should be
Yeah.
handling yeah.
Yeah,
that is
those
the
are my
thought
understanding.
process. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, sorry to interrupt. This is if we look at the share replica, I understand, like, and that's our job in Manila to go and clean that up, because you are managing a share, right? You are managing one share, and then you go and create one replica. Manila is taking care of that. But when we look at the whole concept, like when you manage the share server, and you let's look at it, like take a step back and look at it as I don't know, as an operator or someone looking at replication, for example. If you take a step back and you look at something being replicated like a share server, and a share server can have multiple replicas, can have multiple shares, I meant. So if a share server has 10 shares and it's replicated, I don't know, my expectation would be that somehow I take for granted that all of those share replicas are going to be managed by the share server itself and by the whole replication mechanism. So that's pretty much my thought. Like I think yes, that's correct. It follows some approach that is similar to what we do with share replicas. But uh, if we look at this as a share server, and when we talk about share server and replicating a share server, I think it's the need of being more dynamic. What in the end we are doing, if we do this for every single share, we are doing share replication, basically looking, like it's a share replication same mechanism, but with share servers. At the end, like we are saying that we are replicating a share server, but we are ending up managing every single share replica instead inside of the share server instead. So I'm not sure if I make sense, but I'm saying that it feels like share replication again, but with different colors.
Hmm. Agree,
Yeah,
agree.
and also like if you have this promote of the share server where the secondary becomes the primary, and then if you delete the original primary, that is existing secondary,
Hmm.
you might having more shares than that are actually uh, present in the Manila system or Manila database.
Sorry, I missed the words, last few words. Can you repeat?
No, if we are not deleting the shares that are present on the side B, when the
Hmm.
shares from the side A are deleted,
Hmm.
after the promotion uh, of the share server, there will be inconsistency, right? After the promotion of the share server, if the side B becomes the primary, and if that is what the end user is start going to use, uh, they will have more shares in allocated on their storage, and that will be the issue, right?
Correct, correct. That is the reason where we ourselves is our driver itself is handling that implicitly. But we'll have a discussion with OnTap, and we'll try to raise a enhancement to give us a flag to delete the replica and protect implicitly by them protecting the thing.
Yeah, so that was pretty much my one of my things. Thanks for checking on that. And I'm not saying, like it's we shouldn't fly with this or anything, but what I'm trying to say, and I'm not sure if I was really clear, is that it just feels like share replication again, but we are doing it with the ones that we are saying that the share server is replicated, and yes, it is in essence. But at the end, we are managing every single share. When I
Mhm.
thought maybe we should have OnTap somehow managing everything. If OnTap can do this, then yeah, I think that's a different conversation. And if that's the only way that this can be achieved, then we can look at it and like take this approach. But at the same time, yeah, that's pretty much where I was going to. Like if there is a way that we can have the share server and the whole mechanism, like when you do the snap mirror and you do all of that, or if you can have the snap mirror relationship and the replication of the share servers itself taking care of what gets deleted, like and actually replicated if something is deleted in A, also getting deleted in B, I think it's way less work for us to do in Manila. And I think it's like more it's closer to calling something share server replication. But yeah, that's and then we can discuss on that. I'm not saying like won't fly, but I think it's just me looking at it as I don't know, how you would expect something to work. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I align with your same thought process, Carlos. We'll get this input, feedback to share with OnTap and try to get a requirement created. But for now, this is the only way that we can do.
Got it. Yeah, I'm not sure if other people had some thoughts on this, but yeah, that was pretty much my take on it.
So I'm done with my workflows. If there are no further questions, I'm not sure we had time left to go through other things.
Yep. Thank you. That's a very good explanation on everything, and that was pretty much the only thought I had. So we are
Yeah, thanks
10
for the walkthrough.
yeah, that was
Thank you.
very useful. So yeah, we are 10 minutes late, and I'm sorry for keeping you up, all of you in the room. We do have a couple of topics that we would like to discuss as well. I see we also have the we have eventlet, we have the snapshots for the HP driver, we have a couple of other topics, but I'm not sure I want to keep you all in this call, and I'm not sure if you have the availability. So I do appreciate you guys staying late as well, because it's not early for you, and also got them for waking up early for making this happen. If you prefer, maybe let's we can use next Thursday as well as a second day of a third day of meet cycle, and wrap up on the other discussions, so that we don't keep folks around for too long and too late. So I do have more time, but I don't expect everyone else to have more time too. So I understand if we need to drop, and we can pretty much go for another session next week, and yeah, maybe 1 or 2 hours. Um, that said, I would say, what's your thought? Do you are you okay with us having one more session next week? We can do it Thursday again, and yeah, I think it's going to be another time for us to go through this. Maybe we'll have hashed out some things as well, but yeah, I don't want to keep you guys too late in the call as well, because I care about what time we are wrapping up this. Okay, I think let's do a next session next week again. So I apologize, we haven't enough time, but it's been a lot of great discussions today, and I'm sure we all made good progress in terms of understanding the features and understanding the implementations. I do appreciate all of you participating. Yeah, and I'll post the recordings in the Manila YouTube channel today. And yeah, again, apologies for this running late, but I think yeah, it was great discussions all along. So yeah, I would like to thank you very much for participating, and I'll share the details about the sessions next week, and likely try to have you provide you with an ICS again, or and do the calendar inviting you.